Well, yeah. Hey, guy who's rivaling that in salary so far in his career, Tyler Yaremchuk. Let's bring him in. Ty,
Gambling
how you doing?
winnings.
Yeah, just on winnings alone, eh, Ty?
I actually did go 3 for 3 last night in my points bet picks, so I'm eating good heading into a weekend here. Fill in the blank, or sorry, yeah, it is fill in the blank. Is it? I
No,
prepped
I
fill in
think
the
it.
blank question, so we're doing that again today. That's a brain slip on my part, but either way, it's presented by DoorDash. No matter what we do, DoorDash 25% off with the promo code RundownDD. That's 25% off on your first order, and you get no delivery fees. Shout out to DoorDash.
Ding dong.
All right, let's jump right into it. You said you wanted it on Friday episode, so I'll
Yes,
give it
I
to you.
love it. Oh
Uh,
God, so good.
like I said, we're doing fill in the blank again because I just prepped those questions. So the first one I got with the Miro Heiskanen news, the chances of the Stars trading John Klingberg are blank percent. Frank?
One.
All right.
Mm,
I don't. They weren't trading him anyway, and I think now why? I mean,
yeah,
again, why would you?
I'm going zero.
Fair
You
enough.
have to at least allow for some possibility that someone comes in
Okay,
and just totally knocks your socks off.
0.01. So
Okay.
technically, that's a percent.
Feels
Next
like
one.
a Edmonton Oilers save percentage. Sorry, too soon.
Never. Rasmus Ristolainen got that big deal with the Philadelphia Flyers. Rasmus Ristolainen will be traded or bought out by year blank of that extension. Jason? Or will he play the whole thing? Maybe. I don't know.
He'll play the whole. It's 5 years. He'll play the whole contract.
I don't know if he'll play the whole contract. It's
Well, maybe not all in Philly, but I don't see him getting bought out of that contract.
So do you think he'll be traded by a year? That was part of it. Traded or bought out?
Traded in a year. No, like everything went wrong in Philly this year. I think Ryan Ellis really hurts them, him not being in. So no, I think that Ristolainen will be there. Now, will the same GM be there? Because that's when it changes, right? If you're a GM who signed a guy and then you get fired, the new GM comes in, there's no emotional connection. So that's where there's the chance that maybe in the later years of that, he could get traded. But I'll say he spends at least 3 years in Philly.
I think emotional connection, what you said, is what got the Flyers in trouble. I mean, you trade a first, a second, and Robert Hagg to get Rasmus Ristolainen last year. How often is it that you see a player traded for that type of haul to then re-sign for less money than he was making? Have you ever seen it? I racked my brain, Jay, yesterday trying to find an example. The only one I can kind of come up with is Taylor Hall, but that was a 1-year deal for 8 to re-sign for 4 times 6. So It was a one-off exception. And he also wasn't traded for a first-round pick. Taylor Hall only got a second. I cannot think of an example in recent NHL history that illustrates, frankly, what the Flyers are admitting is just how bad this season has been for Rasmus Ristolainen.
Yeah. Well, even he's admitting it a little bit, is he not?
Well, yeah, I'm sure their initial ask had to be in the 4s. That's my guess. To end up at 5-1.
Yeah, the Flyers, yeah.
I would say this was a face-saving mechanism because their only other option was to trade him for 30 cents on the dollar and get a third back or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I guess he'll play out the contract, but it's not pretty. He's a human nail gun.
Yeah, I love that line. I was laughing.
That's what he is. He's a human nail gun.
If the Toronto Maple Leafs decide to make a move between the pipes and Marc-Andre Fleury is unavailable, who should be their number one target? Who should be their number one target? Maybe not who is, but like who do you view as the number one fit, Frank?
Marc-Andre Fleury. And I don't give me the not available thing. I think you get down on your hands and knees and beg. He's the only true difference maker available.
All right, Jay.
Well, yeah, it's hard to argue with that. So, the only other option I think that would make sense, that could be a legit upgrade, is Varlamov. But he's got term. He's got 1 year. It's $5 million. So obviously you'd have to include Mrazek going the other way and shed some other salary to make it work. But that's the other goalie who I see is a distinct, legit, better option than what they have.
Can I ask a dumb question?
There's no such thing as dumb questions, Frank.
If you're the Blackhawks, why wouldn't you take Mrazek back? You have no goalie.
Yeah.
Oh, for the Fleury trade? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no, I was talking the Islanders.
You would make Toronto pay a little extra in terms of what they give up.
Yeah.
But if it means getting a first round pick instead of a second or something, would you do it?
If I'm the Blackhawks? Oh, yeah. 100%.
Why do you care if Mrazek's your backup next year?
Well, you're not, and
You
you're going to have to get to the, you're going to have to spend.
You're going to have to spend, but you also, if you look at it, I looked at Mrazek's buyout, Frank. It's not awful. If Chicago felt like, you know what, we would do that.
You know who has a wacky buyout, by the way, who made it onto our trade targets list? And I doubt it gets to this point, but Mackenzie Blackwood has a wild buyout because he's 25.
Yeah, he's a third.
Not only is it a third, but they'd actually get a cap credit for next season of 637.5. And then a cap charge the following year for 687.5. So it's basically a wash. You can buy him out for a third and have no cap penalty, which is kind of crazy.
That
anyway,
is really weird. Yeah,
it's a very unique scenario, and I don't think it'll get to that point. But there was a player a couple years ago that had this same exact thing that I pointed out from Ottawa. And Toronto traded for him and then bought him out and used the cap credit after I wrote about the story.
Huh. That is interesting. All right. Wrapping it up with a PointsBet bonus question. Shout out to our friends at PointsBet. If you are a Leafs fan or a Sens fan or just someone who lives in Ontario, PointsBet is coming. They got the license and all that. So you'll be able to use PointsBet in Ontario soon. I'm going to look at their Stanley Cup odds. Here's the top 10 in order. Avalanche, Lightning, Panthers, Leafs, Knights, Hurricanes, Flames, Penguins, Wild, and then the Rangers at 20-1 are at the bottom of that list. Which team will see their odds go up the most after the trade deadline, like day after the trade deadline? Who's going to be the one that makes the sexy splash that has the sports books jacking up their odds, Frank?
Florida.
Yeah, 7-1 right now. I can see that going up a little bit. Jay?
Well, I think Calgary, because they're too low right now. So they're going to go up because some of those other teams are going to go down, and Calgary will go up. They'll just continue to win. I'm not sure they'll make a monumental move, but they're second best team right now in the West. So I think they're way too low, to be honest. You got too many East teams altogether. That doesn't make any sense to me.
But we're talking like who's going to make such a splash that it changes the odds at 3:00 on March 21st.
Maybe it is the Flames. Maybe they maybe they add another piece.
Nah,
they're going to add a defenseman, I think, but they don't have their dollars in, dollars out. They're not in LTIR. They have no space.
Yeah, but I'll still go with the Flames because I think they're undervalued, right? And I think they're rated lower and they're going to go up.
All right, there you go. That's a wrap on another edition of what was supposed to be buy or sell, but ended up being fill in the blank, brought to you by our friends at DoorDash.
Ding dong.